Zoot Suit fashion found its origins in the urban black scene during the 1940s.
It's actually a look from Harlem.
Right. In Chicago and shit. Or New Orleans, wasn't it?
Harlem.
Harlem?
Literally, Harlem.
Harlem.
Yeah.
The origins came from urban black scene 40s, Harlem.
Mm-hmm.
This style of clothing cultivated a sense of racial pride and significance.
You know, I mean, I don't think this is a racial thing to say, but black people and Mexican people are always the
dress different, more flashy,
flamboyant, flashy, clothes-wearing people anyway. So they look at Snoop Dogg.
That's fine.
He was just on Joe Rogan.
Was he?
Fantastic interview. Swear to God, they did a 3 hours and 46-minute episode, and he smoked 17 blunts.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's crazy.
Nice. However,
the
fashion statement soon made its way into the wardrobes of young Southern California Mexican Americans, Italians, and Filipinos.
Filipinos, too.
Who became the quintessential wearers of the Zoot Suit. So the Mexican Americans, Italians, and Filipinos took it over?
Those are the ones.
Nice. The transfer and sharing of the Zoot Suit fashion indicated a growing influence of African American popular culture on the young Mexican, Italian, and Filipino Americans. Additionally, analysis of the Zoot Suit connections with race relations, slang, jazz music, and dance permit an understanding of the politics and social significance of what is trivial in itself, popular culture, and its attendant styles.
Right, so it's pretty much a social thing.
Right. I mean, they got to...
No different than today. Somebody creates a new trend of clothing. People are wearing jeans that already have pre-cut holes that you look like a bum in. When, you know,
or like the 80s and early 90s.
Pumps.
The Mexican Americans had their little... their khaki pants and their white tank top with the one button on
their plaid shirts,
right? And the one button up.
And they wore their little house slippers. Is that the stereotypical Mexican look? Not only that, because they wear everybody wears that in Boys in the Hood too.
Right. It's true.
So maybe that was just the L.A. thing.
You know? The L.A. thing. I get it.
The Zoot Suit was originally a statement about creating a new wave of music and dress, but it also held significant political meaning, did it, though?
All right.
The flamboyant and colorful material indicated a desire to express oneself against the boring and somber slum lifestyle. Okay. Don't know why that's political.
Right.
The Zoot Suit provided young African-American and Mexican youth a sense of individualistic identity within their cultures and society as they discovered, quote-unquote, highly charged emotional and symbolic meaning through the movement, music, and dress.
People don't like different.
Why is that political when they're just like, hey, this is our culture?
Because people don't like different. They want you to wear your slacks.
Especially in the 40s and 50s, man.
Your slacks and your blazer and listen to...
what did we look up that one time? T-shirts?
Right.
They were commonly worn as undershirts, but they didn't start getting worn until like the 50s as like regular shirts, and that was by the greaser gangs, I believe.
Right. They didn't want to listen to the jazz or the upbeaty, the Mexican style music. They wanted the old school, whatever it is.
Big swing band shit.
Right. Ridiculous. Yeah. Come on, guys. Can't force people into what you like.
Right.
Anyhow, the Zoot Suit typically included bright colored fabric, long suit coats that often reached to the knees, wide shoulders, and gathered or tapered pants. Okay. The arm and ankle areas were often much tighter than the rest of the fabric. I get it. It's like a MC Hammer type deal. His
Pretty much, right.
Or his pants. Oh, well, yeah.
Right.
Much tighter than the rest of the fabric, yeah. Giving the whole look a triangular shape. Often the suit was...
so from their elbow down, it was like a triangle almost.
Nice. Often the suit was paired with accessories such as chains and leather-soled shoes, which were typically worn to exaggerate and prove a point of rebellion, standing against the wealth and status that many of these youths were unable to access due to their economic and racial identities. So basically, they're like rebellion. They're like, well, you won't let us get the real stuff. I mean, they are real, right?
Well, not only that, you guys are already looking down on us, so we might as well be different than you if you want us to be different than you. Pretty much.
Right.
Well, the urban Mexican-American youth often called themselves pachucos. The female parallels were called pachucas and wore tight sweaters and relatively full flared skirts, often paired with high hairdos, large earrings, and heavy makeup. Yeah, it sounds like them. Many young Mexican-American women who were not Pachucas avoided these clothing styles and hairstyles in order to avoid being seen as troublemakers by white people. Some women even reported that they had heard of Pachucas hiding knives in their hair. I mean, those Mexican chicks, you know what they say.
They'll slice and dice.
Uh-huh.
Slice and dice. Wow. Pachucas formed their own gangs, joined the male Pachuco gangs, and carried weapons. This behavior was often said to have been a divergence from the expected feminine beauty and manners of the middle class.
If anybody's ever met a Mexican chick, you know exactly,
right.
Oh, this is not too far-fetched of something they would be doing.
They didn't go far from the Pachucas days.
Yeah.
Often, for parents of Mexican-American females, the Pachucas embodied not only a dissident femininity, but a threatening, distinctly American identity as well. So you can tell that these guys are American, but more Pachucas. Pachuca American? Going to be all of those?
They embodied like they were feminine at the same time, but
Right.
they had the American identity, which I would assume is brass, not taking shit from nobody. I
Right.
think that's what it'd be an American identity, right?
Okay. For some young women, the characteristics of the style promoted a sense of social mobility and cultural hybridity that was expressed through increased interracial ethnic relations.
A lot of quote unquotes here.
Right. Bilingualism and Pachuco slang. What's Pachuco slang?
Probably, hey fucker. Look what you did to my dog.
My dog,
Fucked him up for life.
It must be the shoes.
Right. Pachucas and Chicanas were less referred to in the media, partly because they threatened the gender and sexuality norms that existed at the time. Right. Because even though, they'll respect the women.
Right.
That's like Bonnie and Clyde in them. They wouldn't pull or during bootlegging. They wouldn't pull over women and stuff like that.
No.
Or they wouldn't search them because it was against moral, ethnic, or whatever the thing, you know.
Right.
Yeah, when acknowledged, they were regarded mainly as secondary members to the male gang members. Many scholars exclude the Pachuca narrative and major events in the Chicano movement.
Okay.
Events like the Sleepy Lagoon incident and the Zoot Suit Riots, which we're about to get into, have been described as a boyish fight over a pretty girl and a brawl involving homeboys. However, records show that many women also participated in these events and had important roles in shaping their outcomes.
Continuing into the end of World War II, Mexican-American women were at the center of much conflict between Anglo-American servicemen and Mexican-American youths.